Hi, and welcome back to Plan9Crunch, where today we're going to read out of a genre novel. I'm Joe Gibson, and this is Doug Gibson, and the book we're reading out of today is House of Ygor, written by the publisher of Arcane Shadows Press, Brad Braddock. We'll be reading from Chapter 1, the first page. Now, this book fits interestingly within the Universal Monsters canon. It's designed to be a prequel to Son of Frankenstein, explaining Ygor a little bit, while also weaving in and out of other characters from different movies and different films. There's characters from Bride of Frankenstein and Dracula, but we're just concerning ourselves with Ygor right now. So, here we go. The hard rain poured furiously from the dark, ominous clouds, weathering Ygor's pale face and scraggly beard as he crouched upon one knee. He took shelter by a group of large charcoal-colored rocks that were at the entrance of an old cave. Ygor investigated the caverns, the darkness that was mixed with the cool air permeating his face, and his mind raced with thoughts of creatures that could be lurking or hiding deep within. Vampires and werewolves ran through his mind as lightning shot across the sky, followed by a crashing, deep rumble of thunder. His blue eyes were squinting against the downpour. Ygor carefully watched his helpless flock of sheep as they brayed together in unison. The lambs were frightened by the electric sky and tried to squeeze under their mother's rain-soaked body. Rainwater trickled from Ygor's blacksmith's apron as he slowly stood from his crouched position. With a grimace upon his face, rotten teeth bared, he made his way to the flock. Suddenly the night sky lit up once more. Ygor slowly lifted his head to look upon the ebony void, and a deranged grin flushed his face. The lightning is the life, he thought to himself. He knelt to pet a baby lamb. The tiny creature scurried to him, pressing its damp, furry body against Ygor, searching for comfort from its shepherd. Its master. There, began Ygor. Don't be afraid, little one. Ygor protect you. He slowly stood from his crouched position and groaned. Come now, follow old Ygor. I take you to shelter. So, right off the bat, it's an effective character introduction because the juxtaposition of it. He's this unkempt, unattractive, sinister man that has some redeeming qualities. Obviously a bad guy, but maybe a bit more complex, and that's in large part thanks to Bela Lugosi portraying him.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. You know, Bela Lugosi made Ygor an iconic figure. He was supposed to be a throwaway character in Son of Frankenstein, or one of not much significance, but Lugosi honed a character so deep, and the performance was so good that he resulted in other films too. Ygor is in Ghost of Frankenstein, where he manipulates another Frankenstein doctor, and he's also, although you don't really see him, he's in Frankenstein Meets The Wolf-Man. What happened, Joe, that took Ygor out of that a lot?
Well, there's different stories for why the dialogue was cut, but basically at that point in the story, Igor's brain is in the monster's body. Sorry to spoil that for anyone who hasn't watched that yet. And so, down to Bela Lugosi even portraying the monster in Frankenstein Meets The Wolf-Man, there's a lot of dialogue, the ideological conflict. You can read the original script for Frankenstein Meets The Wolf-Man, but the dialogue was all cut, resulting in a very uneven movie. And
yeah, you're right. It was a big hit, but it's missing. And Lugosi walked like this throughout the movie.
Yeah.
And no one knows why if you're not familiar with the canon. At the very end of Ghost of Frankenstein, where, by the way, Bela Lugosi Ygor is talking as the monster, he goes blind. And so if you watch, what's ironic, Joe, is that this whole idea of Frankenstein going like this became the iconic way boomers like me saw Frankenstein. A lot of that had to do with Glenn Strange playing the monster also later, I think.
yeah.
But anyways, Brad Braddock's book, you can get it at Amazon, and we'll put a link to it. I like the book because it provides a backstory to a character who just popped up in Son of Frankenstein. And it's Brad's going to be on our show in November. He's written a lot of novels, novellas, and stories. In fact, Joe, he was the publisher. Arcane Shadows Press published the Ed Wood anthology we talked about recently.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, is there anything else you want to talk about with this, Joe?
Not too much that I can think of, no.
Okay, so I'll let you wrap up, okay?
Okay, well, here we are at Plan9Crunch, where we every week try and read one of these genre novels, cult novels, and we always have a good time with them. We hope you enjoy them, and you can watch us on YouTube, TikTok, all those places, and you can see us on Facebook, and that's a wrap.